I do this. How do I do that? Good afternoon, because technically it is afternoon time. Boy, do I need a haircut or what? I'm starting to look like Large Marge. I don't know. Got a lot of hair here, and it's so funny because this thing is backwards. Christine, hey, hi. Every time I try to put this hand up, I see it over there. Goofy stuff, huh? Goofy stuff. Yeah. Happy afternoon. Friday. I literally just got Cheryl. Nice to see you. I got a text from a friend as I was just at the grocery store that said TGIF Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Good stuff. I got some stuff done. I may need to shut this window because it's a little bit loud for me. Hopefully you can hear me okay. Wrote things down. Got it done. Got it done. Didn't get this one done yet, but I have a plan for after the YouTube live to get it done. So see, I'm not just a spokesperson. I'm a client. Is that what Cy Sperling used to say? I'm not just a member. I'm also a client. Like, I don't just tell you to do this and then do something different. I am walking the walk and talking the talk, or talking the talk and walking the walk. So, and it's working out for me. Seriously, it's working out. So why not try it? Try it. You may like it. All right. I know there's only about less than a dozen of us on right now, but I am going to shut my window a little bit because there's trucks going by. So keep everybody. I'm just going over there. Okay. There we go. All right. It helps me to focus when I quiet down my environment. And I hope it does too. Thank you, Melissa Garvey. Yes, birthday month. Birthday month. Yes. You know what, Kelly Smith? Why the hell not? At least it wasn't like you must increase your bust. Do you remember that? From the 70s, 60s, 50s? Who knows? Yeah. August 1st, breaking out the habit tracker. Yes, I have it up here, but not down here yet. But it is on my list of things to do to literally set up habit tracker. But I did this. I texted that person. I put the dress to the seamstress. That was a big deal. I will share that with you. And I uploaded the TikTok. I also showered and walked and did other stuff. There are some things that are going to take more steps, and you can easily be overwhelmed with the steps. And yes, Shanna, if it's just a reminder for everybody who is part of the email group, the secret page, as I like to call it, because I feel like this is a bit like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The secret page is where you can download the habit tracker. So I did that. I printed it out. I haven't yet put the things on it, but I'm probably, honestly, for me, I'm just going to put the habits that I put last month because it helped me increase the frequency with which I did the things that I knew would make me feel better. Did I do it perfectly? No, because we do not do anything perfectly here. You get no more rewards. If anything, I will be suspect if you do something perfectly. Because what was their names? When an irresistible thought, Steve Lawrence and Nita Gourmet would say, something's got to give, something's got to give, something's got to give, right? So I love it. Living on Tampa time, says McDugg's. Love it. Here's a fun thing I will share with you, though. True, like this is where my brain is going. So I am looking at my habit tracker from last month. And I noticed that I do have some gaps right here of when I was traveling. And I realized that I can do the dates. This is why I give you guys these things so flexibly, because you can do whatever you want in it. Like I did it like July 1st to July 31st, and I just put little zigzag lines down when I knew I wasn't going to be home. And I'm not bringing this with me when I'm traveling, okay? I will bring the mental version of it with me, but I'm not about to be on like a cruise ship going, I better, better make sure. I will probably get my fiber. What am I talking about? But, I will hold myself to a different level of accountability when I am traveling versus when I'm at home. One of the things I thought I would do on this month's is knowing when I'm going to be away is I'm going to experiment. I'm going to do it differently this year. And I'm going to just put the dates of when I'm home. See what that looks like. Play around with it. Doing something different, messing around with it, having some structure, but also having some, as I like to say, some structure and some flexibility. Like those ladies and that lady and that awesome, what's his name? Fosse. The one that goes like this. Structure plus flexibility. If something is too flexible, it's going to be all loosey-goosey. It's going to be flopping all over the place. You're going to look like the guy outside the car wash. Too much structure and it's rigid and stiff, and something hits it and it falls over and breaks or cracks. No, that's not what we do here. Oh, Cheryl is saying, is anybody else hearing static from the microphone? Thank you for noticing that. Let me see what I can do here. Let me see what I got. Sound, output, hype mic, input, hype mic. It should be okay. Oh, shit. Okay, let me try something else then. Especially because my guy is not home. Okay, sound is crackly, static. Good to know. I'm going to try something else. All right, let me see. Can you hear me now? Sounds like wires are not connecting. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Maybe I need to do this. Bit of static. Good to know. Can you hear me okay? I don't even know where the microphone is on my computer. It's kind of silly. Can you hear me any differently, any better right now? I'm using the microphone on my computer versus the one that is attached. Okay, still crackly? Yes, still static. Weird. Okay. You know what? Here, let me give it a shot. Try this. Let me try this again. All right, I'm going to unplug and replug. I don't even know where this is plugged in. There we go. Okay. All right. I will try this. All right. Yes, we can hear you. Okay, continue. Yes, sometimes you won't be able to see the movie when it is all nice and clear. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. I wanted to do some problem solving, but yes, getting in the way of perfection. Good enough. How about good enough? You can hear me well enough. I will articulate some more. Okay. And here we go. Let me see if I can increase that. Maybe that will help. Where was I? Having some flexibility. Notice I could freak out and be like, oh my God, something's wrong. I'll try to fix it, but I don't want that to be where we spend most of our time together today. Okay. I will do some problem solving and maybe just reconnect things before our notebook party tomorrow. So just really quickly, for those of you who are part of the email group, and if I haven't even introduced myself, I apologize. Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, at your service. I just set the tickets for tomorrow's notebook party, and the 2 declutter parties for the month are up. Tomorrow, the 2nd, August 2nd, noontime, noon till 1:30, 2-ish. Again, flexibility. And then Monday is a declutter party at 10 a.m. Eastern. And then we leap across a weekend until the 16th. The 16th, we have the second and final declutter party for August, the 16th at noontime again. Okay. One thing I just wanted to share with you that I tried to do on the TikTok live today and it didn't work out because I had to get an authorization code. Here's a really cool thing. Almost $1,000 last month was raised. You guys sent in your money a bit at a time. $920. To me, that's almost $1,000. I am going to, because of you, send all of that money to the women's homeless shelter in here in Chester County, PA. So thank you. Thank you for showing up for yourself and not being either or, kind of like conjunction junction. It's not either or, it's yes and. So here, we don't do perfection. We don't do either or, we do yes and. Okay? So how freaking cool is that? That only is happening because you're showing up to help yourself too. It's not, oh, if I do it, then they get some. No, it's a win-win situation. And that's how I like to run things, is win-win. Now, I'll be honest with you, am I taking any of that as a profit? No. But $20 at a time. Yeah, $20 at a time. Things add up. You don't realize every little bit helps. Every little bit does help. And every little bit is helping you because you showed up for a party. And you didn't just get the benefit of the party while it was happening, like the hour and a half to 2 hours we were together. You hopefully are still experiencing the benefits of what you did during those parties, because the parties are, excuse me, the parties are participatory. You don't just sit there, like, as my mother would say, like a bump on a log. Did anybody else's mother say that? Don't just sit there like a bump on a log, do something. And yet it's not do something. It's like do something, but something that is towards your destination. So maybe the destination was you showing up to, get off your keister and do some decluttering, And okay, good. Shannon says my folks say that too. Okay, good to know. I was wondering if it was like a New England thing or whatever. Maybe the thing you did was learn how to use a couple of cheapo notebooks, okay? Couple of cheapo notebooks to really transform your life. See, this is the thing that I love, and no offense, like I'm not shining the light on me, but I will tell you, one of the things I enjoy doing is using what I have and not making things too difficult. Now, I know there are people out there who are making planners and, checklists and stuff like that there. They're printed, they're nice, they're quality, and that works for them. But what I have found in my many years of getting stuff done is the simpler, the better. Oh, I can't do it. Where's my planner? Oh, I don't have a planner. I guess I can't do it. Do you have a piece of paper? Do you have something to write with? Okay. And the thing that I love about using a notebook is there's structure. Yes, there's lines and you write stuff down, but there's flexibility as well. There's flexibility in how you use every page. You can decide to use the front as your, I'm sorry, there's crackly words here. Let me shut off my messages here. I get distracted. Using this as your daily roadmap from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. Then saying, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to write stuff in the back. The back is going to be my brain dump list. Oh, you know what I've decided? I want to have some columns. So I'm going to fold a piece of paper in half and voila. I got a column here, and you get 2 on the back page. The lower the barrier to entry, the easier it is to start. You chunk it down and make it so simple that it's kind of silly if you don't at least give it a shot, right? Right question mark, right period. So notice what barriers you put in front of you that stop you from entering into whatever you want to do. Now, even today, when I was doing some errands running some errands. That's about the only running I like to do, is running errands. Um, is I said, okay, well, I have this amount of time before I need to start the YouTube live. And there's a few things I would prefer to do before then, because after I leave, I prefer to do some other stuff that's a little bit more kind of time sensitive because I'm driving someplace. Now, part of me was like, oh my God, okay, if I go and I bring the dress to the seamstress, I'm going to have to go there. I'm going to have to take off my clothes. She's going to have to measure it. It barely took 2 minutes. My brain, maybe like yours, isn't a great estimator of time. It's wrong all over the place. Sometimes it overestimates how long something will take. Many times it can underestimate it. So have some structure, but have some flexibility. I had 3 things I wanted to do, one of which I wanted to do more than the others because it was time sensitive. One of which it didn't matter when I did it, so no big deal. So have some structure and have some flexibility. Now, I am here as structure for you because we're going to hang out together for as long as you can. I'm going to be here for the next 45 minutes or so. And I just want to offer to you, here I am. There's structure. Here I am. Rock you like a hurricane. The flexibility is the live portion of the show. The thing that's different every time you show up. I'm different. You're different. We're all lucky. We're all different. So I ask you, friend, what's going on with you today? How can I help you today? Yeah. And I love it. Mary Lou says, this sounds so familiar. I've always thought I've had a poor conception of time. And maybe you have. And it's just something that I don't think that, honestly, a lot of human brains, especially the creative ones, because we want to do other things with our brains. To me, I look at this like yin and yang. I got the brains, you got the looks. Let's make lots of money. I see it as the business school next to the art school. I see it as 2 distinct parts of your brain, maybe. Part of your brain is wonderfully creative and thoughtful and comes up with ideas and invents things and solves problems. And another part of you that works equally as important, they need each other, is the one that's a little bit more, let's get shit done, a little bit more structured. Now, if you've noticed that your internal timekeeper is not so good at it, use an external timekeeper. Don't judge yourself about it. Don't judge yourself because you're not measuring up to whatever random, regular, boring person said was supposed to be the right way. We don't have to do that anymore. Okay? What I say, though, is introduce tools from your toolkit into your life that will help you get better at it. So, for example, I had from 11:30 to 12, or like a few minutes before 12, because I have to type up and get this thing going, to get these things done. And part of me was like, I don't know if I have enough time. And then I chunked it down. Well, it'll take me about 5 minutes. If it takes me 5 minutes to drive there and park, and 5 minutes to walk there, and 5 minutes for her to, pin up the dress that I want to get the straps adjusted on, that's 15 minutes. I still would have 10 minutes to get home. And it's going to take, even if everything I did, I overestimated how much time it was going to take. And I created a buffer. So I wasn't late for you guys. So do not feel bad if you are have not in the past been great at managing your time. If you want to change it, you can. Some people don't. Some people are like, this is just how I am. And they are continually the ones that show up late, wait until the last minute. You do you. But what I will say is I'm psyched because the errands I said I wanted to get done beforehand, I got done. So that means I have more time to do stuff I want to do this afternoon. So that's me today, getting some stuff done, diving into the deep end of my sentimental memorabilia. Not today, Satan. Nope. Don't feel like it. Doesn't matter if I do it now or later. I'd prefer to do it later, and I'm cool with that. I'm going to go out and play. I'm going to go try to find a mate for my salt and pepper shakers. Yes. Okay. Melissa Garvey, I love this. Thank you for asking a follow-up question about the notebook thing. Love, love, love the notebook method. Yay! I love too. 2 questions. Do you rewrite any undone items on a different date? Hells to the yeah. Completely. Did I text my friend Paul about something yesterday? No, so I wrote it down on today's. And let me elaborate on that too. If I find myself continually writing, carrying over, remember carry the one? Actually, my husband wrote a song, carrying, and then you carry the one and then you go. If there's something that I continually am kind of kicking down the lane, I will look at it and I'll be like, okay, what's the deal with this? Is this too big? Do I need to chunk this down and maybe just put one chunk of that process on there? Or is it literally that I don't have enough time to do that, or I'm not in the right headspace, frankly? If I find that I thought I was going to do something and it's not happening, sometimes I will just go, and it's probably still on my list in the back. I will cross it off of my to-do list right now, and I'll kind of add it almost back to the master list, the menu in the background. Okay. And then when do you delete old pages? Now, I love delete sounds so what do I want to call it? Like technical. I throw away the pages pretty much every day. Actually, it's funny here. This was my yesterday. Notice it's a messier version of today. Again, but the same structure. I had the stuff that I had scheduled here, mainly so I can see the gaps between things and see how much time I have to then better determine what I'm going to get done. And then I didn't throw this away until this morning, Melissa, because I use this as a cheat sheet to remind me of what to write down in my good book of all the good stuff I got done, because I don't remember that stuff as easily as I would like to. Once I write it down and I say, yep, I got these things done. Oh, I should carry these things over to Friday. I feel good about it. And then I say, and hopefully it gets into the bucket. Does that help? Any other questions about the notebook method? I don't know what I could call it, something sassy, but it's a notebook and it's a method or a process. You call it whatever you like. But if you're using it and there's anything confusing you, allow me to help you with that. The other thing too, honestly, for the people who showed up for the notebook party last week, remember, I sent you a coupon code so you don't have to pay full price unless you want to, if you want to show up for tomorrow's. Now, tomorrow's will be most likely a training kind of refresher course for you. However, you might want to show up to get another week's worth of time set aside to set up your calendar for the week ahead. You might find it helpful to be there live with me on Zoom asking those questions to follow up. So that's why I said, I know it's not going to be the brand new thing, but if you think it would be helpful for you, come on, I don't want to exclude anybody. And since you already showed up and you know how to do most of it, it still can benefit you, because this is a wonderful process to use for a week at a time, 2 weeks at a time. You can even continue to just download and, write down the things you want to do. You can write down. I have lists of plenty of stuff I want to get done, stuff in the house, stuff outside of the house, all sorts of things. Use that time to get in touch with yourself. Okay? Just throwing it out there. You can do it if you want. Again, you have a choice. You can do it or not. The other thing too, before I shut up about this, okay, when I carry something over, I put a tiny circle at the end of it to denote it's a carryover. Okay, see how flexibility can help? Flexibility allows you to customize something that makes sense to you. To me, that's the ultimate luxury. I mean, think about it. Getting a dress off the rack might fit you. Maybe it'll fit over your rack, waka waka. But getting it tailored to you, exactly how you are fit, is going to feel so much better for you. You're going to create it. You're going to start with the template that I give you, and then please make it your own where it makes sense to you. The other thing too about the notebook party, because I don't want to harp on it, but I do want to mention this, is if this sounds so intriguing for you and you're like, damn, I wish I could do that, but we've got, like a baby shower tomorrow or something, and you can't be there live. Everybody who buys a ticket gets access to the recorded version that's going to be up until the end of September. It's going to be accessible. So you donate your money to the women's shelter and you get access to either the live or the live and either the live and the recording or just the recording. Maybe you're feeling like a quiet millionaire and you just want to slip a 20 to the shelter and not even show up. That you can do as well. Okay. So I call them parties because training makes me want to roll my eyes. Like, oh, this is going to be fun. No, a party? We're getting together. We're talking. We're meeting people. It's fun. There we go. JR Girl 22 got her grapevines cut off the fence. Rock on. Rock on. Oh, I got some ink on me. Hi there. Oh, no, I want to make a smile. There we go. I crap myself up. Why not crack yourself up? Yay for the good stuff. Ooh, nasty job, poison ivy too. It's gonna take an ocean of calamine lotion. I hope you didn't get the poison ivy. Notice, just like poison ivy or grapevines or whatever, if you don't pay attention to something, it can grow up. It can expand. It can be unpleasant, just like clutter. If you don't pay attention to it, you may be surprised at how much, if you don't nip it in the bud or knock it down when you see it, even for a few minutes, how much worse it can be. So use that idea of gardening as a metaphor for your decluttering. Use the metaphor, we were doing this on the TikTok live today. Use the metaphor of swimming in the ocean or a swimming pool, going from the shallow end and wading into the deeper end to help you remember to go not just on the surface, but surface, stored, and sentimental. Celebrate your wins. Congratulate yourself. Isn't that what you people, that sounds kind of judgy. You folks who have children, I am assuming you potty trained your children. Now, you could beat them up and be mean at them every time they wet their pants, or you can congratulate them every time they use the potty. My God, I remember walking around my sister's house making a parade for my now 20-plus-year-old niece. Notice which one feels better, beating them up or praising them when they did well. Which approach would make you want to show up to do that thing again? And notice when you yourself were born, you didn't know how to pee in go to the bathroom in a toilet. Somebody taught you how to do that. It was something you didn't organically know. You had to get taught. You had to repeat it. Sometimes you messed up, but then you showed up and got better. And now it's just something you do. Decluttering is the same way. And decluttering is like your body is decluttering every time it says, nope, I don't want this anymore. I thought I needed this much water, but I don't. So I'm going to save what I need. And then I'm going to get rid of the rest. I'm going to take these nutrients from the food you give me, and I'm going to let go of the stuff that just isn't going to help me live a good life. Your body declutters. Weeding your garden is decluttering. Any other metaphor that would work with you? I love riffing on this stuff. Is there a metaphor for decluttering that relates to your life? Is there something that you do that you can see the equivalent of it and decluttering? Throw it in the comments. We can share it with folks. I think it's kind of fun because I, frankly, get really bored when I hear people talking about my amygdala and my even the phrase. I will share this with you. What is it? Like regulating your nervous system. regulating my nervous system. That just sounds too, I mean, it sounds official, but how about just calming myself down? I'm going to lovingly calm down my backseat driver. That's how I like to say it. Pardon me as I regulate my nervous system. I need to decrease the frequency with which the blood rushes to my cerebellum. And, I mean, I could talk like that, but who does? I don't need to sound fancy because the answers don't have to be fancy. They just need to work for you. And I share with you the simple. The words in your head make you feel a feeling in your heart, and the words in your head plus the feelings in your heart equal what you do with your hands. And that results in the life you have made, you have created around you. You create your life by what you think. Now, there's a couple of steps. You don't just go, there, I want a new couch, and it appears. But you think of the idea of a new couch. You imagine how it's going to look in that living room. You imagine how much more comfortable it will be because the springs are not, pointing out like the one you have. You start looking. Then you start to do things because you're excited to get a couch. You could stop yourself right away. How many times do you stop yourself at just the thinking? And then you say, no, you already are like, as our friend Ken would say, a turd in the punch bowl. Nah, that's going to be too expensive. I don't deserve that. I'm not going to spend that kind of money. Do you even know how much it's going to cost? Yeah, bite-sized chunks. Where do you throw a roadblock in front of you? How far into any kind of process of thinking do you throw the roadblock in and stop yourself from even writing down what you want? Don't do that. That's silly. That's not going to work. You can pretty much know it's going to work if the backseat drivers are starting to wake up and be like, whoa, 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 what's she doing? That means you're on to something. You have disrupted the whatever, like the homeostasis, how things have been. You're disrupting the pattern of listening to your backseat drivers. And they're like, whoa, 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 wait, you're not listening to me anymore? I'm going to tell you. So I offer to you, your backseat driver equals your nervous system. It is full of fear. Calming it down, quieting it down will also help the other less fearful part of you that does exist. Again, it's a part of a feeling part. It's a thinking part. It's your soul who's saying, you got this. You can do it. Why the heck not? You're going to be dead soon anyway. You might as well give it a shot. What's the worst? Where is it, Christine? What's the absolute worst that could happen? And go there. What is the absolute worst? And usually it's going to go back to, you're afraid, I don't know, somebody's going to laugh at you. At least that was mine. Now I don't care. I love not caring about stuff like that. It's so freeing. So how can I help you today? The people who show up, get the help, use the help, and then they're the ones that are trucking along. So I offer to you, I'll give you like a moment of silence. And whatever comes up for you, write it down on paper first, but then write it in the comments. I'll give you a moment to do that. And if nobody has anything, we will just continue to riff. I can riff. I am committed to being here for 25 more minutes. So I'm here for you, even if it takes a moment to think of what would be beneficial for you today. How about now? Anything? Are you good? If you're good, that's great. Are you kicking ass in all areas of your life? I'm feeling pretty good about mine. It hasn't always been that way, though. Pick one area. Are you feeling good about it? Write it down. Write down all the good things that you're doing. That's definitely, if we were using the notebook method, that's definitely team good book. Let's keep that stuff. My birthday's coming up soon, and sometimes, not all the times, I will reflect on the past year. I will look in the rearview mirror to my life. I will actually, most likely, sometime next week or maybe this weekend. Where's the first one? This is the first book. I will look back to see what I was wanting to do in 2020 when I started this process. And I will see what's changed, what did get done, what I haven't done yet. I will see what I wrote down that I don't feel like doing anymore. It's just not interesting. You know? I love this. This is crazy because I even have a thing in here. What are some good things that happen to me between the ages of 50 and 60? I learned and did yoga. I drove Route 66. Yay. I was featured in the Philadelphia Inquirer. Cool stuff. And man, this was 5 years ago. I have so much more to add to that list. I don't mind being quiet and waiting for you because a live only works if there's interaction. I mean, I can talk, but even give me a subject to talk about that would help you. If not, I can talk about what would help me, but that might not help you. I'm here for you. The thing that helped me, the process probably help you, but let's get more specific. Okay? I love it. JR Girl, thank you. Saying I'm working and listening. Good. Now, LO says, I feel like I repeat myself a lot. Oh my goodness, hun. Have you seen, I have, how many? Where am I on YouTube here? Wow. As of right now, 795 videos. Many of them, most of them are hour-long recordings of my lives. Each one of them repeats the same thing. Now, there's nothing wrong and a lot right with repetition if it helps you. But let me ask you this, LO, if you don't mind putting it in the comments. I feel like I repeat myself a lot. In what way? What are you repeating? Is the repetition like getting you what you want or bumming you out? Is it repeating certain decluttering tasks or actions? Repetition is good. Repetition is how you learn things. Remember, we went back to like potty training. You repeat and repeat, you know? To-dos in different spots. Okay. All right. All right. So what you may find is you have a habit of putting stuff down in certain places and putting it down as opposed to putting it away. Personally, I think everybody does this. Notice the distance of time between when you put it down and when you put it away. What I recommend is getting okay with the repetition. The repetition is going to happen. You go into the back door, you put your shoes somewhere, your coat somewhere, your purse somewhere, your bag somewhere, the mail somewhere. You kind of come in and you dump stuff every time you come into your house, most likely. If you put stuff down and not away, I would get curious. Why did I not put that away? Maybe I have too many steps in the way for me to do that. Oh, because it needs to go on a hanger, not a hook. A hanger is more difficult to put something away on than a hook. This is where we talk about like the functionality of how I want my home to function. I help you make it easy to put stuff away by reducing the barriers that it makes it simple and easy. Okay? The other thing too is own the fact that you dump things, and then maybe what you do is you don't leave them there as long as you used to. Maybe you dump them down, but then you have the time, cut the time in half between when you used to put stuff away. I have gotten into the habit of unpacking my suitcase when I get home a lot sooner than I used to, and it feels good. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so LO says, yeah, I guess that's it. There's a lot of repetitive things that happen in a day. It makes it hard to move forward on new things. Okay. This is what I want to offer to you. My goal is with what I teach you is not to keep you in the decluttering of the surface mode. Let's make the decluttering of the surface easy peasy and not take a lot of time. So you do have energy and time to go to the next layer deeper. Yeah, hard to move forward on new things, but is it really? You could stop the repetition things. Let's make those easier so you have more time. But and I'll just offer this because you wouldn't be the first person. Are you keeping on the safe roads because there might be a fear of moving forward on new things? It is possible. I'm not saying it is. I'm not saying it isn't. There's a possibility that your backseat driver is keeping you doing the surface cleaning because there's a bit of a fear of going to the next level down, the stored clutter. Okay. All right. Now I love this. JR Girl says, I discovered something cool. Man, do I love discoveries. I will do things for future me. Yeah. Current me, I am paralyzed, but I do it for future me. Yeah. And the neat thing is future you is you too. So notice that you're creating. Yeah. You are taking action. You are making things happen that's going to benefit. And future you is you later on this afternoon. Future you. So LO. Maybe you saying, okay, let me take a look. The next time I am doing these repetitive tasks, do I need to be the one to do them? If I live alone, maybe, but you could hire help. You could ask a friend. You could also just make that task simpler and easier and lower the bar. Don't expect perfection. To decrease the amount of time and energy it takes to do the mundane things, so you have more time and energy in your tank to go the next layer deeper. I would also honor, honestly, how you are feeling emotionally, physically, mentally. And if you're not feeling it, that's okay. Nobody says you have to do this stuff at all, ever. As many of us know, when there are people that pass away and they leave houses of stuff that somebody else is going to have to go through. Okay? So don't beat yourself up about how you are. Get curious about it and see what's giving you the result you want. You know? Barbara says, I'm just plugging away, trying to get my elementary art room decluttered by 3:30. Big job, but I'm chunking it down, and your words are helping me plug away without stress. Awesome. Yes, Marietta is asking, can you give us a high-level summary of the notebook items? 100%. Is it like a to-do list? Yes, it's basically my version of brain dump, to-do list, and calendar. And brain dump, to-do list, calendar, and road trip journal. Really what it is. What it is a place to put your thoughts. A place to put your thoughts when you first dump them out, and then a home for them. So when you want them, you can go get them and find them. And then when you want to use them, you put them on your calendar. And when you do that thing, then you put it in your keeper journal where you collect the things you did. It's as simple. It really is like coming into the house. Like you've got your dumping ground. You come into your house, you've got a place you dump stuff. That to me is one of your notebooks, is where you dump your thoughts. Okay. Then a dump, it can just be that. It's like your groceries and your laundry and the mail, it is all there. And then what you do is you categorize it. So you dump down your thoughts, but you maybe categorize them in columns to say, this is the things I want. These are the things I would like to declutter in the in a certain room. This will help you. And Leslie, I see what you're saying. Advice for when you are decluttered, but it's starting to feel like too much. Now, let me help you with this. And actually you can help me. You are thinking, I'm feeling good about how I've decluttered, like I've decluttered, but it's still feeling like too much. Is that it? Or are you still decluttering? What I will offer to you is, and I guess I haven't talked about this in a while in a certain way, is this is where I use the metaphor of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. You've got too hot, you've got too cold, and you've got just right. So when we are cluttered, we may have come from a place that is too little, not enough, scarcity, lack, poor, that type of thing. So we start accumulating items, wanting to feel better, feel just right. But if you've never had stuff, you don't know what your set point is. So the feeling of being cluttered usually is the feeling of too much. So kind of like too hot, the porridge is too hot, the porridge is too cold, the porridge is just right. The feeling of too much is usually that feeling of decluttering, or excuse me, of being cluttered. When you start to declutter, you will declutter to the level that you currently feel safe to declutter to. So let's say you've got, your set point here, and you've got the clutter, and then you've done a once around in your house, and you've decluttered 10%, I don't know, 25% of your clutter, of your stuff. So that's less than you had. So yay for 25%. That's like being on a road trip, right? Here, let me take the road trip. I'm going to tie it up this way, or this way maybe. Saying, I am full, but I've decreased it by a quarter, 25%. Now, when you get to that 25%, you have now lived for a while with that amount of clutter, and you've realized that maybe you want to do another round. Maybe this feels better than it did when you were full. Perhaps you are feeling ready to go another layer deeper, to do another round of decluttering in a home. Does that help, Leslie? If it's starting to feel like too much, honor that and notice you're back up to too much, regardless of whether the original too much was up here. Now, 75% of the clutter still feels like too much. I feel like I'm doing like the rub your tummy, pat your head. But it's true, because to me, getting to the point where you're not in over your head, feeling like you're drowning or suffocating, overwhelmed, panicky, can't breathe. Think of all those things. Those are all feelings and metaphors for the feeling of being surrounded by too much. Taking a deep breath and just saying to yourself, all right, you know what? I'm going to look around here, and what's feeling like too much? What room am I feeling too much in? Chunking it down, and then being a little bit more, well, you know what? I could probably let this go, probably let that go. And then you do another round, and maybe you decrease your clutter by another 10%. And then you learn to live at that level. And then you decide if you want to stay at that level or go another layer deeper. Now, I have done this myself, and I do continue to do it. What I'm running into, frankly, is there's a lot of stuff in my house that I've been here for 20 years that I grew up wanting to have a certain house with a certain look and stuff in it. Well, now I've done that, and I want something different. I don't want as much stuff. Ironically, I'm going out to an antique store after this because I'm looking for not just something, I'm looking for one specific thing, one little specific thing. But a lot of the stuff I have now, I've enjoyed living with it, but I don't want to add to it. And if it didn't make my house look like it had missing teeth and really starting to feel that feeling of empty, I don't want it to feel empty. So it feels just right to me. If I were to move, I will share with you, I am used to living with this amount, but I would use that as an opportunity to decrease the amount of stuff I have even more, depending upon what fits in that house. And I would share with you that one of the things that will keep you keeping too many things is going to be your storage, your built-ins, your IKEA shelving units, the drawers you have, the surfaces you have. The more places you have to put things, the more stuff you will probably hang on to. Does that help, Leslie? If not, please elaborate, okay? Please put something in the comments so I know I'm hitting it. All right? So it's okay to feel a different way about your stuff than you did when you first got it. It's okay to feel like, this still feels like too much. I know what feels like too much now, so I am super picky about when we travel, or even today when I go out to the antique store that I'm looking at, of not coming home with something that's just going to literally add to my clutter. Am I going to use it? Neat thing is I literally just thought of something else. Melamine dishes. I am purchasing stuff now to solve problems. I am not buying stuff just because I like it. I am at the stage in my life, the chapter in my life, where I have all that I want, really, as far as material items. Could I upgrade some of them? Yes. Is there one or two things, but nothing. I do not come from a place of lack. And I don't want to add to my clutter because I don't want to have to do a major declutter, again, a reclutter. I don't want to reclutter my home. So I am very mindful and choosy, even when I'm surrounded by all sorts of things that I like. Think of yourself at a buffet. You could eat all of the stuff, but your stomach is only so big. And depending upon how you're made up, you may feel gross after eating a certain amount of things. So make sure that what you're bringing into your body and your life and in your house makes you feel good, and practice stopping before you start to feel like too much. I've eaten too much. I bought too many things. Okay, too much stored. Yeah, so Leslie, notice we were talking about, okay, not so much cluttered on the surface, but what if I got stored? No, I love that, because to me, if all we ever did was help with the surface clutter, I get bored real easy, because I don't do well. I get bored really easy with superficial people. I get bored very easy when you're just, on the top. I like to get down into a different level. So I love digging into things. What do I have stored? Why is it stored and I'm not using it? Who am I storing it for? When was the last time I even used this thing? Why haven't I used that thing that was in storage? This will be really eye-opening for me, because as many of you know, we've got the continuing story of what's going on in our basement. And we've got the stairs are being worked on. But even putting things back in the basement, I know damn well my husband is going to have less stuff going down there than came up. Yeah, I want to ask probing questions. Yeah, you need to ask the probing questions. Don't probe and poke until it hurts. Just get curious. What's going on underneath the surface? Okay, Marietta, I love this. You have the answer right there. Any ideas on what to do with a pile of shoes that just don't feel great on me because I've aged and become more selective of footwear? Notice the roadblock you have put in front of yourself. It's the very last sentence you wrote down. They are expensive. They were expensive. You spent money on them. They were expensive. So notice, everybody, what one of the roadblocks that a lot of us put in front of ourselves to stop us from letting go of things is how much money we spent on them when they were new. Okay, JR girls get the same shoe problem. Okay, what's best way to sell them? I don't know, Poshmark, one of those online shoe things. Does anybody? Carla Jane, nice to see you. No apologizing for being late. There is no late here. I'm the only person who could be late because I'm the only person who said I'd show up at a certain time. We're just happy to see you, right? Much like I said, being mindful of when you buy stuff, being mindful of what you buy. Okay. Okay. You must have 70 pairs. Marietta, this is when I would say, this is where Google is going to be your help. Where do people sell used shoes? I would look at Poshmark. I would look at some of those online like fashion places. And before you even set up an account and start, I would see how much people are paying for those used shoes. Now, if you have ones that are like the Manolo Blahniks or whatever, people might want those. People may not want your used sneakers. So please, everybody, start to get comfortable with disconnecting the item you currently have and the condition it's in with what money you paid for it when it was brand new. Start to separate those two things because they're two different things. Rarely, if ever, will you ever make the same amount of money that you paid for something when you sell it secondhand. Okay? So, Marietta, I encourage you. Okay, they're mostly designer. All right, so good to know. I encourage everybody here who has dollar signs as the roadblocks in front of you that are stopping you from just donating them and taking the tax, write-off. Do the research. Research that designer. Research that designer used shoes. Go to a search engine and see if anybody on eBay is selling them and how much, not that they're asking for it, but how much they have sold for. Okay? That will give you an indication of whether it is worth your time and energy to go through the selling process, because the selling process can make you money. It can also suck away your energy and time and you make nickels. Okay? Now, cool. Carla Jane is asking if anybody's going to be at the declutter party tomorrow. I'm not sure if anybody right here is, though the tickets are available starting today and all the way up through the beginning of the party. So buy your tickets now, that type of thing. But there are a bunch of people that have already got theirs, Carla. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Yeah. So, Melissa Garvey, your encouragement to write in the fun is my favorite permission slip. Make a plan and get it done is my current mantra. That includes the fun category. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I could sit here and work, but I'm not gonna. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to lovingly sign off, having spent a wonderful time with you guys. And I'm going to say to myself, hey, I have nothing to be responsible for to anybody else but myself. I've got the whole afternoon free. My husband isn't around. I've done some things that made me feel good. What fun do I want to get into today? And I thought of something and it makes me go, ooh, Yeah. Marietta, see, you're already doing that. Probably easily get 30 to 50. Others maybe 10 to 20. So then, so add up. I will offer to you, Marietta, kind of as a closing thing. Yay, Mary Lou will be there. And Carla and Mary Lou, you're going to be at the party tomorrow. The only thing you can never get back in life is time. So be really careful of where you spend your time and energy, because it is something you will not get back. You and I cannot go back to 11:59 this morning unless you live in a different time zone, but you know what I mean. So I offer to you, Marietta, $70. Write down the list of the money you hope to make from them and seriously decrease it by about 45 to 50%. Is your hourly rate, are all the steps you will need to take to sell each one of those pairs of shoes, all of that time divided by the money you get is going to be your hourly rate. Are you happy with getting paid that much per hour? If so, yeah, I'll show up and do it, no problem. If not, you may want to find a better way, an easier way to release those shoes and regain the time you would have spent selling them. But notice you have a thought, as many of us do, of, but I paid a lot for that. I feel weird, uncomfortable in my nervous system just giving away something that I spent a lot of money on. Right. So yeah, Leslie says, great questions. I'll watch this video again. Yeah, because just so you know, and Marietta and everybody, I'm wrapping up right now, but this video, within moments probably of us being done, is going to be on the new, it's going to be on the recording on YouTube, on the Destination Decluttered YouTube channel where you are right now. And I just started the August playlist, so it's going to be showing up on that one. Okay, so you can rewatch this and remember what I said. And notice, Marietta, your brain is already providing you with a solution to your I have too many shoes problem. I'm just here to kind of prime the pump and encourage you to think of things, and then your brain is going to come up with ideas that either don't feel good to you or feel okay or feel great to you. And depending upon that feeling, you're going to do something. If it feels unsafe to do it, you may not do a damn thing. If it's feeling you may cautiously proceed. But if you realize that it feels good, you're going to be running towards it. Okay? And just to wrap it up on kind of a good note, as far as Marietta, she says, you are correct. I should just sell the expensive ones and donate the rest. Now, should is a word up here. Okay? What I just want to offer is knowing what you should do and then what you do. Has anybody ever been here? I really should eat that carrot, and then you go eat the potato chips. Should and do in between there is how you feel. But look for your destination. If you don't want to be surrounded by shoes that you just don't wear anymore, what's the easiest way to get to destination not surrounded by shoes that I don't wear anymore? The quickest, easiest way that feels good while you're doing it. That's how I like to coach, okay? So as a quick recap, Beth, Destination Decluttered, Decluttering Life Coach, at your service. Tomorrow we have a notebook party, which is going to show you the step-by-step of how to use a couple of easy-peasy notebooks to really change your life. You can get your ticket when you are part of the email group. If you want to join the email group, it's a wonderful group of people. DestinationDecluttered.com. Join with the form at the bottom of the homepage. You're in like Flynn, okay? The other thing is, too, is if you don't feel like doing the notebook party, we have 2 declutter parties happening in August. Monday, August 4th at 10 a.m. Eastern, and Saturday, August 16th at noontime. Both of those are showing up and doing the decluttering while you do this, okay? So there you go. See, Marietta, notice what happens when the pump is being primed. I could donate the rest. I could have a swap party with my friends, swap up my shoes. Yeah. I've been saying the wrong thing. I don't know. In Lake Flynn is what we say, what we said in Massachusetts. I don't know. I have heard of people getting together and swapping their stuff, a little exchange. That will give you different stuff. So you'll still have stuff, but it will give you different stuff. That could be fun. There we go. And Louise is offering, I listed about 8 pairs of shoes on Marketplace, sold 2 pairs and donated the rest. Carla is saying, she says it's being in like a Flint. I'm going to go Google that and see which one. We're probably both, right? Because it doesn't matter. All right. I look forward to seeing all of y'all, Carla, all of y'all tomorrow at the notebook party, at a future TikTok live or YouTube live, at a declutter party. Don't forget, it's the beginning of the month. So print out your habit tracker, start using that, and have a great weekend, you guys. I know I'm going to, and I want you to too. Remember to schedule in the fun. Okay? Bye.